Oh my God. Yo, is the patch day is the best for memes, dude. This deer about to go extinct. So while I was sleeping and I woke up, I heard you guys the NA Vishai messaged me saying oof, and then this was like the Twitter, the message that I got. It says, unfortunately during testing we found an issue with the March update. It was not able to be resolved. And then I got woke up in bed and I go, oh no, my stream's gonna be awkward. And then later on it says, we're happy to say that the issue getting the release of the Art of War update has been resolved. Ultimately, an our game moderation system required conveyed in earlier messaging. That's cool because slowly going to talk about the NA updates, right? The in-game moderation system, I don't think we have this here. I don't think we have it in Korea. This is a unique Frankenstein version for NA to resolve a lot of things, I think. God damn, look at all these angry guys. Holy. February, March, last week, this morning, or later this morning. So, let's quickly talk about the NA updates, boys. Artist Advanced class. I have a video. This is my new artist guide. It wraps up a lot of stuff. Tuluvic, in a long story short, Tuluvic is actually the worst content that I don't like. But it's okay though. I'm kind of jealous that you guys have the Grand Prix back again, because this Naruni racing is pretty fun. So this Naruni racing, I remember, was you do this race. We had this at like 3rd year anniversary, I think, and you collect like tokens from the race, and then you get to trade in a bunch of different mats, a bunch of different like card packs, all this stuff. The general mats and card packs and all this stuff that you can get. It's really good. And the Arc Pass Season 3. So this one, one thing I can point out is my Blade or Saints Reaper. This top here, the Asna look, this is the Arc Pass's clothes. That's the top part for it. The artist one's really nice too. So most of it, like my tip is like, you just use the top, and then the bottom can be replaced by something else, and it looks pretty good. This one, I'm jealous you guys have this. The Chromanian pet. Some of the stuff that you guys are getting in NA is really rare for Korea. So it's like super lucky stuff. Progression event. So Punika Power Pass, you guys know this already. Like you just use it and then you get to skip Punika. Hyper Express Plus engraving support. So I want to talk about engraving support just a little bit more. So I made a real short video about what's Hyper Express engraving support.
You're engraving?
Again, I'm gonna explain it one more time. You have this box here, and then you click the box and you get to select 4 engravings of your choice. And if you select it, you're going to be locked with this. So some people have been asking like, can I use both accessory plus this? And it's no. Like you either choose engraving support or you use the engraving from the accessory. If you're starting as an artist or if you're starting as a support, I think 4/3s is totally fine. Just get that combat stat high as you can, the highest quality as you can, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be super easy for you. It's gonna be easy. And then when you run Chaos Dungeon, sometimes you get an accessory with a really high combat stat. 1600 to 1700 with level 5 gems or level 7 gems with the 3/4 is no doubt way better than a 5/3 with like a bunch of greens with like 1500 swiftness. Even in Korea, I see supports with really low combat stats and with really low level gems. They're actually not that useful in the raid because their uptime of the buff is so slow. Their uptime of the marking is so slow. Obviously, this is not gonna fix like some sort of gatekeeping because people tend to gatekeep if you're not a 5/3. But I'm trying to make it better, saying like 4/3 support is totally fine. I don't see a reason of getting a 5 and then having a lower combat stat. I'd rather have a higher combat stat and a 4/3 if I see a support as myself as a party owner. So this kind of precedent needs to change just a little bit. You don't need to gatekeep so hard on a 4/3 support. DPS is in a totally different level because DPS level 3 engraving is like preferably 16. About 13 to 16% damage increase, right? So that's a big difference. Like that's a little bit of big difference. That's why people are gatekeeping it. But support case, don't worry too much about a 3/4. The verdict of Story Express. I did it 3 times in a course of my Lostark career. It takes so long. What Story Express is, they took out all of the unnecessary, annoying things, and you can just focus on the story itself. You guys have Shift G now too. So the thing about Shift G is you need to clear it once. So if you're like a complete new player, you probably have to spam G for it. But you know, honestly, story is not that bad. And if you use Shift G, the preferably taking around time should be like 13 to 16 hours. But with G, it took about 16 to 20 hours. So this is a multiple day project. Events. So if you're a complete new player, you would Punika power pass one character, or you would make multiple characters to see which character you like first of all by looking at like YouTube videos, and then you just try it yourself. Don't think about the meta, don't think about DPS or anything. Just play the character that you will definitely enjoy on. General QO update. So this Honing Gold update, I know you guys are super serious about this, and it got heated. This topic is a sensitive topic. The verdict of this is it's actually a plus. To 1445, preferably what 1445 is Valton hard. And it does not cost any gold anymore. This means up to 1445 content, you don't need gold, period. Unless you're buying stuff from the auction house. But generally, you don't need to, because there are enough assets for you to get accessories for free. For example, I would say this would be very hard change for new players if we didn't have this, the engraving support. Now that we have it, you don't have to worry about engravings. Now you're only worrying about combat stats. Getting it higher is super easy. This stuff did help new players to get to raid content, which is the most fun stuff. And it did create new tri-parties, new tri-party lobbies, new newbie lobbies, etc. So the game was much healthier when this happened, okay? But the Frankenstein version for the NA version is Vikis Hard is not included in here. So for Korea, Vikis Hard was also included in the gold nerf, but this isn't. Therefore, if the new player preferably pushes to 1445, and then you go to 1460, which is another +1 for all gear, which is not that hard. The existing players might be stressed out because of this, but you guys will realize after a couple weeks that it is not as bad as you think, and then it just creates new players. Therefore, what an MMO needs is new players every time. Cool, which is another topic for a new thing is Nuke player card set. That's actually really good too, right? This is really good as well. Like what this is, from what I know, is this one. Is this card set that it's like a Lost Wind Cliff version. This is the Light of Salvation version, and this gives you 8% damage. It's actually not bad. And then look, you don't need that many legendary cards. You just need one. You need either a Balthor or a Zena and Nana. These are like the budget LOS and Lost in Cliff. Is this to shorten the gap between the card differences? And the card system improvements, I bet you guys are super excited for this as well. One card system improvement is I have a bunch of cards over here. I open it, it automatically adds into it. It automatically adds, boys. Now you can open up all your cards that you saved. Easy. And as far as I know, you guys have these as well. The filters. You can filter it by human, right? You can filter it by demon. You can filter it by, you know, beast or whatever. Yep. Now, Chaos Gate update was one we got recently too, is when Korea's biggest problem was Chaos Gate. When Chaos Gate starts, a bunch of people AFK in the front. This patch kind of prevents all these guys to like getting kicked out. So you get kicked out if you AFK in a Chaos Gate. This should have happened a long time ago. Not for NA, but like for Korea as well. But, you know, we have it now. It's good. Arcturus' Touch. So I didn't know what this was. You guys call it Arcturus' Touch. What it does is you can get twice the Legion Raid materials in gear crafting. This is also really good for new players. This game essentially starts when you get a full relic set. This is an Asian set, but you guys gotta get this on April. But the reason being is if you have a full relic set, what happens is you get to switch relic sets too. If you have 55 each Legion Raid items, as in like if you find 55 wings or 55 bones, you get to switch freely. And why switching important is there's a thing called a betrayal set in Lostark. And what betrayal set is, sometimes when you guys see me stream, you see a lightning ring around me, right? That does a bunch of damage around to minions. That's called a betrayal set. And it helps you so much to do your dailies. And getting 55 of each item takes so long. To help that out, it's double the thing. And as the text says, because since it may be a different version, it says up to 5 times per character. Get all the required items you need to get the free transformation. 5 additional sets of rewards per gate, per character. So this means you can get Valten and Vicus, because Valten plus Vicus is 5 gates total. So Valten and Vicus rewards is just going to be double per character. So some of you guys in chat are saying it's 24 without the box. So it would be 6 plus 6 double, and then 6 plus 6 with the bonus loot, and then plus 5 for the box. So it's 29. That means you just need to run just 2 weeks to get the full 58 for both. So if you just play 2 weeks, you get to switch your relic set freely. And gear trading changes. The oath gear can be traded up to 3 times. I don't know if this would be a big deal for it, but I mean, basically legendary gears can be traded, and I think it's 5 pounds. It's 5 pounds in Korea. I don't know how much it would be in NA. You probably have to see when it after the update. Broken protection. So this is like additional buff for new players, right? You get like more damage, and then you get hit less. You get a defensive measure as well. Yep. So Shift G, I mentioned. What Shift G is, you get to skip dialogue. I'll show it to you right now. So when I'm pressing G instead, there's a thing called a Shift G where you just skip all dialogue. Just goes ding, and then you get to skip every dialogue and then press it right away. This is also impacted on low ping and all these other things combined. With this being told, I am very, very impressed that the QOL related things for Korean version and NA version is literally just 1 patch behind. If NA wasn't getting, certain things pushed forward instead of just getting it per patch, as most companies, other developers do, you guys would have not gotten back in head attack now, because it came out after Broshaza chat. In Korea, back in head attack indicator came after Broshaza. We had to fight the Q without back in head attack indicator. No one knew where his head was until later. You guys been getting the QOL stuff earlier than the content itself. Therefore, I think this is really good to see that they're pushing things better. Pushing things faster. Stronghold updates. So this is a guest shortcut. I didn't know that instead of playing the song that takes about a couple seconds, you can just go to your guild and then press my stronghold button. I can just go to my stronghold right away. I recently knew this, by the way. I didn't know. Skin effect bonus. A new move effect has been added to skins. So this move effect skin is this thing, the Makoko thing that we have. And the one I have on my Gunslinger is the little feathers. This one is what we just got as well. General update. So this is a little funny update. Is so 100k gold, you get taxed for it. This is to prevent. So in Korea, what people did was, instead of mailing gems or etc. whatever for like RMT, they go to Oreha together. And then you bid on the box, and then you DC to give all the gold to this one guy. I mean, doing that all the time. This is just to prevent all that stuff. Trying to prevent it. This is called the tax evading. Integrated dungeon UI, added boss rush cube activities. Now, this used to be boss rush, but it's converted now, so ours is just cube. Character customization, reskin tickets allow 24 hours of customization change before appearance is finalized and locked. This is also what we got recently, the 24-hour customization changes. This is so sick. So if you switch your character, you can go in and try it out within the game and then switch it back whenever you want. Okay? Dude, there's so much things to talk about. I'm excited. This MVP system. So let me talk about MVP support. I'm gonna say it less aggressive because it's a YouTube video. I don't want to cause drama, okay? Long story short, I don't know what's going to be called. It's a shield, guardian, and healer. So this is not important, but this MVP category supporter, you know how in DPS you have fighter, upright fighter, and cruel fighter, right? Support will have supporter, upright supporter, and cruel supporter, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be named differently. In Korea, we call it, you know, just a supporter, and then you have bright supporter, and then you have shining supporter. Supports give you buffs, right? So if your support buff takes a certain amount of total DPS pie, you get marked as a regular supporter, upright supporter, or a cruel fighter supporter. If you get a regular supporter, your buff is 19% or less than the whole pie. If you are an upright supporter, it's about 20 to 24%. If you're a cruel fighter supporter, it's 25% plus. Now, let me tell you guys the bread and butter for this. 8-man is a totally different calculation. So on an 8-man, don't worry about it. This doesn't work that well. This support MVP is super important on 4-man raids. If you get support on a 4-man dungeon or a guardian raid, you're not doing good as a support player. Just like in my guide, this is a perfect time when my guide came out. Supports have something called marking. Supports have something called attack buffs, and supports have something called identity attack buff. Therefore, what marking is, if you're not marking a boss, your DPS players are doing 10% less damage. Even without you guys activating the identity buff, right? Let's say you heal all the time. Let's say you heal from start to finish. There is no way that you can't get supporter MVP. Make sure you put the buffs at the right time every time. And then if you just time your identity buff here and there, you will on average always get the upright fighter for support. Upright for support is actually good enough. It's 20 to 24%. It's huge. Huge. But if you're getting supporter, there's got to be something that you have to work on. That's the MVP system for support. This MVP system support is going to change everyone's perspective about supports, because you just need to take a look at them on a 4-man party only. I'm saying this again like multiple times because some people don't understand. Like, some people think it the same way for 8-man. This is 4-man only. On a 4-man dungeon, guardian raid, etc., you see a supporter. And not like upright or a cruel, they're doing something wrong. And they need to improve their gameplay, or they need to improve their build. That's the bottom line that I can say to you guys. And that's good because it will help you guys improve your gameplay and, you know, be giving each other's feedbacks. That's a good question. So I was waiting for some questions that you guys ask. Yearning does not count, and cards do not count here. This is solely on your build and your skill uptime. This is 100% skill based. This is 100% skill based. So let me summarize it one more time. This is perfectly skill based. This means if you have a supporter level in the MVP screen, this means either 1, he's not rotating their skills enough. 2, their combat stats low, that their cooldown is very high for low rotation. That's it. There's nothing else. Power Pass UI, mail improvements, extra rewards. So this view extra reward is if you forget, if you're an old man like me, you go, oh shoot, I forgot to get bonus loot. It's gonna be a box icon over here. You can click it and get the bonus loot. Or you can be smarter and go not receive it and then receive it later. You can do that. Codex improvements. Oh yes, the codex improvements. So this one means, let me guys give you a tip. So in this area we have character growth, right? If you have character growth, there's this thing called not received yet. If you check this, you get to see everything you're missing. Party Finder. So Party Finder is also good. What you do is there's a thing called a plus, there's a minus, there's a or, etc. There's like a Google thing. So if you don't want to see buses, you do minus bus, and then I get to see regular parties. So I guess in NA it would be WTS, right? And the party applicant list improvement is, let's say I make a party and someone applies, you will see a canceled mark instead of someone disappear, and then the person on the bottom goes up, and then you invite them by accident and they're both awkward. I did not invite you. You know, that moment is going to be gone. You know, where you guys invite the next person by accident because the other guy canceled it. I know those moments, the awkward moment. Now online status, the same thing. You know, apply, guild system, all these. So all this stuff is gone. So as I said a little bit before, you guys are only 1 or 2 patches behind for QoL related things. It's so fast. Now store updates. I can't believe you guys got the baseball one pretty quickly, dude. Because this one was pretty recent as well. The baseball ones. I gotta give it a little bit of tip. Baseball Destroyer is pretty cool, man. And then Neria's wardrobe, pretty nice too. So speaking of Neria's wardrobe, you got some of the items now. You got more items now that, you know, on my interview day before, right? We got the Guru interview. So we interviewed Samsam on last Friday, and this is my skin page, and she has this blog, right? This is applicable for you guys over here. This sweater, it's over here. And then this one is a specialist starting set. She has the dye for this as well. It's at the back over here. This is her dye over here. It looks really nice. It looks premium. It's an Elden Ring horse. Yep. Dark Priest wallpaper looks sick. So that's good. Now, dude, this video is gonna be really long, huh? So balance updates. Long story short, this video is gonna be in the description. I already covered this on. Okay, so we have 8K PTR balance patch fast review, and then we also have the AS change review as well. This is a new. Basically, I covered almost every single class. That actually I did cover every class overall. So. Long story short, Berserker is like to the moon for both builds, and they're pretty good these days. It's just that in Korea there's not that many Berserker players because they're all playing Slayer. That's the bottom line. That's the reason why, even though they got a huge buff, yeah, they can't, you know, they're playing Slayer. Gunlancer, I have double builds. So Gunlancer, I have the new red build and the new blue build as well. They're big wins. Gunslinger, also very big win. The Gunslinger video is coming out very soon. But the bottom line for Gunslinger is usually a QoL change. And because of that QoL change, your average DPS is going to be up very high. Some of you guys in chat that said that it's up to 4 to 5% changed increase based on the community guide. And I don't know where they got the math from, but I would kind of agree due to the QoL change alone. For example, the biggest QoL change for Gunslinger is your focus shot used to do 4 hits, right? Instead of 4, it's going to be 3. That's huge already, right? So it's like a good example. Sharpshooter Loyal Companion is a really good build now. But Death Strike, people who are playing Death Strike, people who are playing double class is not going to work anymore. Machinist is also pretty good. Because their spacebar, all that stuff is going to be good. The Artitania technology build is pretty strong now too. PS Shadowhunter is also good too. Is a boost of damage, DPS increase. They're all good. And then some of them you see the nerfs and stuff, but it's fine. Bard is a big change because Bard is a total meta change here. Where I also have the new Bard build on the old video. And that's about it. But Bard is going to be... So, if any of you guys are Bard mains, I guarantee you guys are going to be very happy. Because the Bard is like off to the moon. And then again, for Bard, those of you guys prepared it already, your conviction chord is going to be changed to Sonatine. Okay. That changes the English version of it. Let's go over the Korean one really quickly. Really quick. Korea one, we just got the Sims mode for it. So we can have a, welcome thing. So this is the thing that you can type in. So I like how he already put the little thing here. I like how, Lost Boy did this. Alright, and then Yorn Hub. And then you have and then you get to use pet points on new stronghold furnitures. And you have the a marketplace. Where's the marketplace? Oh, here it is. So everything's gonna be in the marketplace now. Sick. So you get to buy some stuff within the area, the marketplace area. So this is also a really update that I really like is, so you guys remember you do like, you guys set the sail on. There's a button that you can just finish everything. You remember you got to like click this complete, click this complete, click this complete. Now you can just do it as a group. You can also see two things now, as in it's either S or SS or an A. There's only 3 groups now instead of like 4 or 5 groups. And then you can repair all your ships in one click as well. So they kind of made it a little better in terms of like grouping them together. And then we have new trophies. And the one trophy that I really like was this one, the Makoko trophy. This is the Makoko trophy. And if you press it, he does a little thing. They're like try to destroy the barrier. Oh, this is a 1000 Makoko seed collection. 1000 Makoko seed collection. And this is 60 masterpieces. And this is all the giant hearts. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. This giant heart, 15 giant hearts. And this is Ignia token. 16 Ignia token. And this is the music box rewards. 16 Ignia tokens, Nerge. Cool. And then there's also research for the 3rd floor of the manor. There's a 3rd floor now. All my rooms are empty, so she added 3rd floor for people who really like the Sims version for it. There's new themes, all these things. And they updated Rowan here where like the rebirth time is 5 seconds now instead of 15 when you're around your area. The points required for you to do the quest is lowered. And there's more days that you can do the weekly quests for Rowan. So that one is like Rowan's a little bit, got nerfed so that people can actually do missions a lot better. Because the problem about Rowan is in order for you to get some of the select pack, etc., you gotta have ranking. I think you gotta have a really high ranking to get like a select pack. So you're kind of like jailed for it. I mean, I finished Rowan, so it's okay. But for new players, they want them to catch up. And this stuff. Now, this was really cool. I wanted to show you guys this. The glow for Gunslinger and Deadeye has changed. It went to a spiral now. Look at that. There's like gas coming out of the gun. It looks so sick. And at the same time, if you wait a little bit, she takes the gun away. Oh shit! But she kind of stands awkward. Where did my gun go? So this update, what this update is you get to add memos. So this is the traveling merchant here, right? I can add. Click here and go traveling merchant. You can add it yourself. Whenever you guys go around, you guys can add memos yourself. And you know, I could put like Chaos Gate here or something like that. Only up to 50, but this is enough because I would be just using this for traveling merchants. All right, and then this they changed it like a restart button for dungeon, but I don't know what it exactly looks like. And then we also have the smaller view of the set bonus if we press shift click. So you notice how this is like super long. We can minimize it like that, so that it doesn't look crazy. And then that's it. And usually there's just a nerf of usual raids, and like the Una quest got a little smaller. So this one is mentionable, I guess. The Umbrella Gate 2, you guys know the laser that the pro kill fires. It's gonna turn orange and it's gonna turn red, and when it's red, it can't be intervened. I don't know why they did that change now, but I guess it's good. I don't know. But yeah. And then you have the new PvP, all this stuff. Cool. So that's the career change, chat. Not much on the career change, chat, but we took a majority of our time going over the NA patch. This is going to be done every week. So every week on a Wednesday morning, you know, when I turn on a stream, we just like, you know, the general stuff, and we're gonna spend time looking at a bunch of different things today. So I'm gonna try to do it every week. So whenever you guys tune in at around this time, if there's any topic that you want me to like a reactor or like give feedbacks on, just let me know earlier. So we can just keep spending time on like going over the new things. So I went over all the new things. I mean, today in particular, there's a lot of updates, but some days there's not gonna be that many updates, right? So it's gonna be a short video. But you know, in this particular video, it's like super long. And I really like looking at the memes today.